Hi guys, July here again with another screenshot video. So for those who don't know, I have a lot of RuneScape screenshots and I would like to share my collection with you guys. So today I have 10 other RuneScape screenshots, but unlike the previous videos, this time I handpicked them myself. In the previous videos, all the screenshots were picked with a random number generator, but this time I chose to pick them myself. So you may find this more interesting, but I've also chosen to include several screenshots that don't seem so interesting at first sight, but who doesn't love a good challenge? So we'll see, right? So then as the first screenshot, you can see a Locust Lancer at the archaeologist's camp, so that's in the southeastern corner of the Caribbean desert. So this area and this monster was added to the game together with the quest dealing with Scabras on the 2nd of January of 2008. And I remember at the time thinking that it was such a strange place and such a strange quest to do. I felt like something was quite off about it. I don't know why, but that is a memory that has stuck with me since. So anyway, this was an important quest for the mining skill, because if you remember, one of the quest rewards is the ability to craft an enchanted water tiara. And as you may remember, if you were a skiller back in the day, so back in 2008, the best way to train mining at the time was by using the quarry in the southwestern corner of the Caribbean desert. There was nothing else yet that came even close to it, I think, in terms of XP rates, so that's where all the high-level players chose to train mining. The enchanted water tiara made it possible to train there without having to bring water skins, so that was quite an impactful update. Then the second screenshot shows, well, the second screenshot is actually a screenshot of a YouTube video by Aclaw, in which he records himself reaching 200 million attack XP, and that's a special video for the sole reason that Aclaw was the first player to reach 200 million attack XP. So yeah, that's he basically recorded himself with this video, which is from the 11th of December of 2006, by the way, so that's 14 years ago. There isn't much else to say about this video, so just remember that Aclaw was the first player to reach 200 million attack XP, and that he recorded himself doing so. And of course I will add a link to his video in the video description, so make sure to have a look there as well. The third screenshot, so perhaps you want to have a look at the screenshot first, and then you will see that it is about the name cleanup from 2014. So maybe I should make a separate video about this, because there is quite a bit to say about the name cleanup, but in short, so back in 2014, Jagex decided to release the display names of inactive accounts, basically. Why? Because people had been complaining about almost never being able to choose the RuneScape name that they want. So that's the reason why Jagex decided to do a name cleanup. Now, of course, as you can surely imagine, there was also a lot of criticism, because some people felt that it really shouldn't matter what your RuneScape name was in the first place, but also that it would basically steal the RuneScape username from old veteran players who hadn't logged in a long time. So what about those people? What if they return to RuneScape? And in my opinion, that's a fair criticism. Anyway, in the screenshot, you can see a Jagex moderator saying that Jagex was looking to release around 50 million display names at the time. And I remember them even releasing a gigantic file with all the display names that they would release. So me personally, I was not really in favor of this initiative, mainly because as an historian, I really can't be. I feel like I had to come up for those veteran players, or for those big names from, the RuneScape 1 and RuneScape 2 era that hadn't played in a very long time. So fortunately, Jagex did give us the option to submit a list of names that we feel should be protected. So for example, those would have been names like Zedzima, basically the big historically significant names. And of course, I submitted a long list of names because, to me, all the names that I see in old screenshots are historically significant in one way or another. But not all of the ones that I submitted ended up being protected, including some surprising ones. For example, if you are a veteran player, and then I mean veteran, so from the RuneScape 1 era, and if you followed the high scores at the time, then you will surely remember players like Alchemon, Blue Rose 13X, and TKS. Those are just 3 examples of names that Jagex did release, in spite of the fact that I had indeed submitted those 3 names in an attempt to have them protected. This means that the 3 names are also no longer on the original account anymore, so maybe that's something you want to remember in case you ever encounter them in the game, which is unfortunate, but then you should also keep in mind that this may also be the case for many other historically significant names that you may encounter in the game. Okay, so anyway, there's a lot more that I could say about the name cleanup, but we'll keep it at this for now. Then the next screenshot. It was taken during the final week of the RuneScape 2 beta, which ran from December of 2003 until the end of March of 2004. We know this is from the final week of the beta because it says so in the second line, so next week it's not beta anymore. And I wanted to include the screenshot in this video just to show you what the chat box looked like at the time. So this was the first RuneScape 2 layout of the chat box. Alright? In the 5th screenshot, you can see a player reading the security book and it's a little glitched. So first of all, do you even remember the security book? Let me know in the comments, maybe you will after I have explained what it was. So like I said, this screenshot shows 2 friends getting all excited over a minor bug with the security book. So let's read the private chat for a minute, well, a couple of seconds. So the player tells his friend Miner 69 buy a security book, read it and exit the screen. You'll still look like you're reading. I'm standing here in Varrock with a book in my hands. As soon as you walk though, it puts the book away. And apparently that was exciting enough to share with his friend. So what is the security book in case you don't remember it? So the security book was, and I had to look this up, it was added to the game on the 4th of July of 2006 alongside the release of the Stronghold of Security. So the security book itself contained information of how players could keep their account safe and secure, and you might have seen these in the general stores all across RuneScape. Now in fact, and I did not know this, the book still exists today, but of course it has been updated. So for example, now it has information about the authenticator, etc. So maybe go have a look at it again if you want to. Next, we have one of the few screenshots that I have that I actually took myself. So I took the screenshot in the summer of 2009, and that's shortly after the release of the advanced agility courses. So in this screenshot, you can see me standing on the advanced agility course of the Barbarian Outpost. It was added to the game on the 21st of June of 2009 alongside the advanced course of the Gnome Stronghold. At the time, that was a big update for agility because those 2 new courses superseded the ones on Abatol and Dorgesh Khan as the 2 most popular places to train and with the best XP rates as well. So until then, Abatol and Dorgesh Khan is where people would go to train agility. Dorgesh Khan had noticeably better XP rates. I think something like 65k XP per hour as the maximum XP rate. For Abatol, that was around 55k, a little lower. But the Abatol agility course was noticeably more popular. Then when the 2 new agility courses were released, so the advanced courses, they had better XP rates, so people chose to go there instead. And also something I want to point out is that as part of the same update, Jagex reduced the XP rates of the Dorgesh Khan agility course. I'm not sure why they did that, because the people who trained agility at Dorgesh Khan were there because they cared about the highest XP rates in the first place, so I don't think it was necessary to nerf the agility course because those people would have switched to the Barbarian Outpost or the Gnome Stronghold anyway. At least that's what I think. So that's all for this screenshot. So if anyone ever asks you if you remember the old RuneScape 2 hit splats, then this is probably not what you think of. Am I right? That makes sense because these hit splats were used during the RuneScape 2 beta, which ran from December of 2003 until March of 2004. So these are the earliest RuneScape 2 hit splats. Now I have to admit that I can't remember if these were also used for some time after the beta. There's definitely a possibility, but if that was the case, then it did not take very long until Jagex updated them again to make them look more like the ones that we have in old school RuneScape today. So yeah, I just wanted to show you the screenshots so that you know about the old RuneScape 2 hit splats from 2004, the first half of 2004 at least. Okay, so then this screenshot shows the Freaky Forester random event, which was added to the game in August of 2005, and completing it at the time unlocked the Lederhosen set. So basically what the Freaky Forester himself is wearing in the screenshot. So I picked the screenshot not because of the random event, but because of the Dragon Maze, which you don't see often in all screenshots. So I kind of wanted to use this opportunity to talk a little bit about the Dragon Maze. So if you remember, the Dragon Maze, or using the Dragon Maze, requires completion of Hero's Quest. But at the time, so when it was added to the game in 2002 together with the membership option, so that was in February of 2002, completion of the quest did not yet unlock the Dragon Maze, for the simple reason that the Dragon Maze did not exist yet. In fact, it would never at all be released in the RuneScape 1 era, so it never existed in RuneScape Classic either after the launch of RuneScape 2 in 2004. And the RuneScape 2 beta is also when the Dragon Maze was added to the game as a quest reward, but then only for the RuneScape 2 game and not for the RuneScape 1 game, as I like to say. That's perhaps something that you didn't know, so that's what I wanted to share. Okay, so then next we have a screenshot of the first Elemental Workshop quest. And I don't know if it's the same for you, but it's just one of those quests that makes me feel nostalgic. It just brings back a lot of cool memories, you know. Is that the same for you as well? If so, let me know in the comments, and also why. So the Elemental Workshop quest, or the first one of the series, was added to the game on the 2nd of June of 2004, so that was only a couple of months after the release of RuneScape 2. It was not an important quest in any way, but one thing it did do is that it introduced the purple elemental shield to the game. If you paid any attention to the people around you at the time, and then I mean not only in 2004, but basically the first couple of years of the RuneScape 2 era, then you might remember that the purple elemental shield, for one reason or another, became a very popular fashion item in the low-level community. In fact, I used to parade with one of those as well. So let me know if you did too. And then we will go to the final screenshot of this video. And here you can see King Duffy at the Edgeville Bank, but when it was still his original name, so that's King Duffy 1. So this must be from 2008 or maybe 2009. So who was King Duffy? In short, King Duffy was famous for being a high-ranked player in the high scores after the release of Summoning in 2008. In fact, when Summoning was released, he took rank 1 in the high scores just 3 days later. That said, he was not the first player to reach level 99 Summoning though, but he did become the first player to reach the maximum total level of 2376 after the skill's release, and that's a pretty cool achievement, I would say. Then the next months he spent basically defending his rank 1 in the high scores, losing it several times but also reclaiming it several times, and that until a player by the name of Kurt Jars, if you remember him, passed him in November of 2008, after which King Duffy would never be rank 1 again. But he did remain in the top 10 of the high scores until the release of Dungeoneering in 2010. So essentially what you need to remember about King Duffy, or King Duffy 1 if you prefer the old name, is that he was the first player to reach the maximum total level after the release of Summoning, so that's level 2376. And that he was rank 1 in the game for some time in 2008. So yes, that was King Duffy. Okay, so that was all for my video for today. Feel free to leave your feedback in the comments. And don't forget to check out a Claw's video. I will add a link to it in the video description. And I will also leave a quick reminder here that you can follow me on my social media pages, so that's Facebook and Twitter. And if you have a whole lot of RuneScape memories to share yourself, then you can join my group on Facebook, which is called RuneScape Memories, so that's easy to remember. And then maybe I will see you there, okay? So thank you for watching. So I was going to just end this video now, but I just remembered something. So a few weeks ago, I was looking at my old RuneScape videos again, my old RuneScape history videos. I watched one until the end, and then I realized that I always used to end my videos with one particular line. So I'm going to start doing that again, so here I go. So thank you for watching. I am July, and I hope that you will come back for more.